Welcome back to Saturday Breakfast. Do you hear that sound? Can you hear it in the background? That's the Territory Time Machine whirring to life. We're turning the gears and we're pulling the levers, and it's time to talk a little bit about history. And, of course, it is a Territory Time Machine, so the history of Canberra is where we're headed. It's currently 16 minutes past 8, 0 degrees outside. Top of 13 expected today. I'm Emma Bickley, and I need to know what Canberra has to do with the Wizard of Oz. Now, it's not some sort of random, tangential, ethereal, sort of conceptual thing like, well, one had like a wizard and the other one has a prime minister. It's not like that. It's like a real connection. My guest is shaking his head. I don't know if it's because of the lame joke I just tried to make or he's agreeing with what I'm saying. Do you remember a little while ago we had Russell Nankervis on? He's the creator of The Adventures of Russell Canberra series on YouTube. And he's here to answer this very important question for us. Welcome to the show, Russell.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning indeed. Now, you were shaking your head. It's not just a sort of conceptual connection. There truly is a connection between the Wizard of Oz and the Emerald City, the red slippers and the yellow brick road.
Yep.
Never realised how much colour theory there is in that. And our very own Canberra. Shall I give you the mic and let you take it away?
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you. So basically, the connection begins. Okay, let's go back in time. We are in a time machine. Let's go back.
Got it.
We need the TARDIS sound.
Yeah, I know. I need some sound effects. We'll look into it.
We'll work on that for next time. Excellent. So basically, let's go back in time to the 1800s. So in 1871, the Chicago fire happened. So we're going all the way back overseas.
We are going back.
So, 1871, the Chicago fire happens. The whole town basically burns down. And this actually happened 8 months after Marion Marnie Griffin was born. So she grew up in a world where the world was rebuilding around her. Similar with Griffin, he was born in 1876. So he was actually younger than Marion, which is crazy to think about.
Hang on. She was in Chicago?
Yes.
And he was there too?
They both grew up and lived around Chicago,
Okay.
yes.
Yep.
But he wasn't there for the fire, but Marion was, even though she was just a baby, so she moved out. But basically, what that meant is that both Marion and Walter grew up in a city, in a world where they were rebuilding their city. So architecture was just what everyone did and spoke about in Chicago at the time.
Yes.
Fast forward, so you've got L. Frank Baum as well. He was born in 1856, so
Now,
he was...
so just for people who don't know, author of The Wizard of Oz.
Correct. Yes. So he was definitely going to be well aware that the fire happened. So basically, by the time 1893 came around, so the previous World Fair, I've got my notes here. Where is it? The previous World Fair so 1893, so 4 years before that was the French World Fair, so the Eiffel Tower was the first thing. So that's what everyone thinks about
That's hard to beat.
Hard to beat, exactly. So the Chicago World Fair came along and they were like, we are going to celebrate the fact that we've rebuilt our city. So we're going to do this massive festival. And they built this, basically a venue called the White City.
Okay.
It's not as racist as it sounds, I promise. Probably.
It was troubling, yes.
So basically it was this beautiful, think epic, but more epic.
As in like epic, like Exhibition Park in Canberra?
Correct.
Okay, but epic and white.
Yes. So basically these giant neoclassical buildings for pavilions were put up around an ornamental lake, and a massive 30-meter statue covered in gold was put up in the lake. So it's this big, beautiful expression of we're coming back. This is us. We are on the world stage. Chicago is back. So L. Frank Baum, author of Wizard of Oz, and Walter Burley Griffin both attend this event. And they take two very different ideas from this event.
Keep going.
Yes. So L. Frank Baum goes to it and he looks at it and he goes, wow, look at all these really big, beautiful buildings. They're neoclassical. They've got the grand designs and everything. And then he pays a little bit closer attention and he goes, wait a minute. That's all plaster and stucco and bits of wood and steel beams. This isn't marble and stone. He goes, this is all fake. This is cheaply done.
Dupe.
This is a dupe. So he pockets that idea and he goes, okay. So a couple of years later, he writes The Wizard of Oz. So he pockets that idea.
Yep.
Walter, on the other hand, so as I said before, architecture is really a big thing in Chicago at the moment. He looks at everything and he goes, this is really pretty. Like, I love how everything's framed around this ornamental lake.
Oh, I see where you're going.
All these buildings that are sort of really, they're statement pieces. They draw everything together, but they're this beautiful thing. So he's like, I'm going to pocket that idea for something later.
Okay.
So he pockets that. Fast forward a couple of years, of course. And we get the first book of Wizard of Oz. And of course, Dorothy, on her little adventure, goes to a wonderful little city called the Emerald City. And I don't know how familiar people are with the story of the Wizard of Oz, but basically it's a fake city. The wizard himself has turned around and he goes, everyone has to wear green glasses, so everything looks green. And it's basically just this attitude and idea that it's an all farce just to make someone look powerful.
This is fascinating. So hang on. So Walter Burley Griffin goes, L. Frank Baum goes, and they get these two remarkably separate ideas.
Mm-hmm.
One loves the idea of a city built around a fake lake, and one likes the idea of a fake city.
Yes.
Now, did they ever actually meet? Do we have any evidence of that?
I don't think so, no, because Walter would have been 7 and L. Frank Baum was like 37.
Weird. Okay, no, we don't do that. So then in that case, their ideas went off. And does Walter Burley Griffin ever comment on how much of an influence the Chicago World Fair had on Canberra?
So he hasn't specifically said anything, but the influence is there because the Chicago World Fair actually gave rise to the City Beautiful movement, which is what the original design of Canberra was based upon.
Talk us through that.
So the City Beautiful movement is basically the idea that you have beautiful ornamental buildings set up in a way that have grand avenues, which you can kind of see in the design of Canberra.
Yes, but like our War Memorial, like that. Yes,
You've got the grand axes, you've got the parks, you've got all that, and they just throw in a little bit more environmentalism for their design for Canberra. So if you look at, Marion's drawings of the city, you can see the City Beautiful movement in it. So, but with Griffin, he basically took the White City and put that in the government group. So you could imagine the National Triangle. So you got he wanted to have like the People's Monument at the top of Capitol Hill and the Parliament House a little bit further down, and then all the big buildings around it. So the Treasury and all the buildings that are there now, but slightly different arranged with with a little lake in it and everything. At one point, Parliament House could have actually been on the shore of the lake.
I thought you were going to say it could have actually been like the Emerald City.
Nah, wow. Well,
put your green glasses on, people.
Exactly. Though I do like to think that we kind of do live in an Emerald City, not because it's fake, but because we have so much trees around us.
The bush capital. I love that.
So we have our own little, and I think it's far nicer than wearing green glasses every day.
Totally. And there are actually quite a lot of metaphors there, which we don't have time to explore. So I love this connection, the idea that the Chicago fire was in some ways the impetus for an incredibly famous film and an incredibly beautiful capital city.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, though, is also, so Marion and Walter, they both worked in the Prairie School of Architecture, which is a very American style of architecture, and it was in response to the World Fair as well. Because they were like, why are you building all these European neoclassical style buildings?
Yes.
We're American. We should be building American
stuff.
Buildings. So a lot of architects turned around and designed their own style. So yeah, Walter and Marion were once again caught up in that idea and style of architecture. So the Prairie School, where it's all about flat line, like the prairie, you think about it, it's a long flat. Yep. So that's what so you've got, I can't remember his name now. It's escaped me. But famous architect, Lloyd Wright. There we go.
Oh, yes, Frank Lloyd Wright.
Frank Lloyd Wright, another Frank.
Yep.
So they're everywhere. It's a Chicago thing, surely. But yeah, so there's influence there. But also, there's a connection to Floriade now that I think about it.
What?
So
these are on-the-spot connections, people. We are living in history. Go ahead.
Living in history. So what's one thing you do at Floriade where you want to see everything?
You go on the Ferris wheel.
Correct.
Yeah.
Do you know what the first Ferris wheel was or where it was at?
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark. Was it Chicago?
It was Chicago World Fair 1893. Correct. So they wanted their own Eiffel Tower.
Oh, so that was their version.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Russell Nankervis, who is our guest today on Territory Time Machine, he's the creator of the Adventures of Russell in Canberra series on YouTube. You are a font of knowledge. So they created that as their answer to the Eiffel Tower and therefore connected to Floriade. There must be other connections.
There could be other connections. I don't know.
I think we should have you back one day. In fact, I'd like to know more about the competition to design Canberra.
Yeah. So there's fun stories in that one.
And I have to eat some humble pie. I was definitely wrong about something.
Yeah. So last time we spoke about Islamabad.
I don't know where I got this from. If anybody knows where I got this crazy idea that Islamabad had some sort of architectural confluence or design confluence with Canberra, I thought it was designed by Walter Burley Griffin. It was not. I thought it was based on Canberra. It was not. Is this some strange Mandela effect where I got this in my head and no one else knows where it came from? Or was I just wrong?
Well, I had a cheeky look and figured out what was going on here, which may have influenced the way you're thinking. So it is a planned city, obviously, with the partition in 1947 of India and Pakistan.
Which could be part of it, yes.
Could be part of it. And they didn't exactly follow our model of doing things, but it was very similar. So they had a capital development authority, they're a National Capital Development Commission.
Ah, yes.
But still worked in a similar way.
Same vibe.
Independent, got an architect, designed the city.
Yes.
Then they, basically the way that they planned it was basically a grid, and they wanted a central district, so think Civic or Monica when they were building that. And then as they built out, they wanted these sectors to have their own little things that they needed. So
like little hubs.
Yeah, little hubs. So your schools and your shops, which we have like today. So there are some similarities as it being a planned city, but that's as close as I can get.
Well, you know what? I really appreciate the effort, Russell, to try and sort of what's the word? Vindicate? No, that's not the word. Anyway, to try and make me feel like I was less wrong. I really appreciate that. Russell, it's always a pleasure. Will you come back another day and perhaps talk us through the competition that started it all for Canberra?
Absolutely. I will give a little hint for everyone so they can look forward to next time. So the competition was controversial because the British architects boycotted it. They weren't in it. But there was an entry that had insider knowledge.
Really?
And wanted to design what the departmental board wanted.
Cheeky.
Yeah. So more on that next time, I guess.
Whoa, that's a cliffhanger and a half. A bit of that Martha Stewart insider trading. Hey, Russell, this has been an absolute pleasure. Where can our listeners find you and all of your great historical tales?
Fantastic. Yeah, so I'm on YouTube, so The Adventures of Russell, the Canberra series. You can find me that.
See, the was missing in my notes.
Yeah, the Canberra series. So
the Adventures of Russell, the Canberra series.
The Canberra series. So if you just look up the Canberra series, you'll find me. Also, if you want to look at the pictures of the World Fair and the design of the Capital Group that Walter came up with, it's on my Instagram as well. So _Canberra_series, and you can have a look at them there as well.
Too easy. The voice is Russell Nankervis, lover of all things history, great storyteller, and today showing us the links between the Wizard of Oz, the Emerald City, and Canberra, our own capital city. Well, Russell, there's no place like home. Get out of here. See ya.
See you later.
Russell Nankervis, thanks for your time this morning.